Hello, take two, because I spent 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes uh, recording something, and it went away. So, yeah, little unraveled at the moment, a little PK, but that's okay. We're gonna just pretend like everything was flawless and glorious and wonderful. Um, um, my brother and I did a stream about 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about a bunch of nerd shit. And because, hi, and because so anyway, and one of the things that we talked about in there was we had a gentleman who popped in, and he was talking about we were talking about films and all the stupid shit that they do, the woke crap, and he had mentioned that the conversation we were having was not reflective of real people. It was reflective of the art that they produce, and I pushed back on that. I disagree with that. And so I figured I'd do a video about that because literally the one I just recorded got destroyed and I'm really fucking mad about it. So, I wanted to do a video here really quickly on values because it seems to be something that we don't have a lot of in this country anymore. It seems to be something that's going the way of the dodo. And I don't really know when that happened, but it seems as if people no longer value values. They no longer value morals or ethics or having standards or convictions or beliefs, something that they fundamentally hold true to when everything else is being torn away from them. Now, values are unique to different groups of people, and not everything that I value would be valued by somebody else. I value personal liberty and freedom. Other people might value security and safety. So, our values there are different. Those values then shape the way that we pursue those things in the real world. I believe in the pursuit of freedom and giving people the ability to protect themselves and keep themselves safe. Someone who values safety might value the rescinding of or restriction of certain freedoms for everybody or for the individual so that the collective stays safe. Those people are wrong and they're called communists, by the way. Those are bad people. We don't like communists. We tell communists to go away. They're bad. Different values. Okay. In the context of the conversation, we're talking about film. We're talking about actors playing characters or directors and being involved in projects, or people being involved in film projects in general, wherein they play a role or they push an agenda that they don't actually believe in. And then they get some flack for it, or somebody says something, and then all of a sudden you see them backpedal away from it. Now, first, before I get into that, the backpedaling away from it, all I want to say here on this is, if you profess to have values, you value honesty, integrity, hard work, faithfulness, truth, courage, fortitude, compassion, empathy. If you profess to have values of any kind at all, and somebody offers to hand you a check with a bunch of numbers written on it, and so you take those values that you have and you throw them out the window. You never had any values to begin with. You're a hypocrite and a coward and a liar. You never had any values to begin with. You didn't believe in anything. You said what you thought people wanted to hear. And in the moment that the winds changed, you said the new thing. You see that happen in Hollywood all the time. It's a pervasive thing that happens in Hollywood. If you watch enough people with influence in media, you'll hear about that. How they have friends who are in the Hollywood scene who don't believe in the stuff that they do, but they do it anyway because they don't want to lose their job. That's a coward. That's somebody that you don't need in your life. That's somebody that you're a lot better off without. Because if they're willing to sell their values down the river because there's money in it for them or because it keeps them safe, they will 100% sell you down the river when the Gestapo come knocking at the door. If you're hiding in the attic, they're going to George Soros you, and that's it. It's over. You're done. You're done. They're going to make a boatload of money, and you're going to be dead. Or in a prison camp, or in a re-education camp. So you never had values to begin with. This became something that I caught a lot of. I started thinking a little bit more about when the incident happened with Steven Crowder a couple of months ago, who I watch. I enjoy Steven Crowder. Although recently there's been some things that have happened. But anyway, and he basically came out and said that the day he'd been offered a contract by a company, and the company was selling its value short to make money. They're right. Crowder had an issue with that. This company then responded. It was the Daily Wire, who I'm not a big fan of. I don't particularly like Ben Shapiro. I think Ben Shapiro is just he's a conservative elitist, much like the Democrat elitists. You know, he has no problem watching everybody else suffer from his ivory tower, and I don't have time for people who are like that. Right wing, left wing, doesn't matter. I don't care. But they basically came out and tried to say that Crowder was full of crap. So Crowder then came out and did a video where he had a recording of the phone call that he had with this individual, Jeremy Boring, the CEO of the Daily Wire. And Jeremy Boring pretty much buried himself. I mean, he came out and said it. Crowder had the contract right there. He could read the lines from it. He then went on the Timcast show, and he was talking about that too. And he was offered, I think it was like $50 million for this 4-year deal or something like that, or 1 year, 2. I don't remember how it was, but it was a large sum of money for a certain contract time. And Crowder's position was that if you're willing to sell your values for money, then you never had them to begin with. And I pretty much bought into that too. I believed that for a long time. But that was probably the first time I can think of where I saw somebody actually stand by that. Somebody actually that stood by the fact that they had values and they weren't willing to just sell them away because there was money involved. And then, and he fought that fight for a while. He's doing his own thing now. But that's a good lesson for anybody. For anybody. If you're going to go out into the world and you're going to profess to believe in certain things, if when times get tough, you forego what you claim to believe in because it either is more convenient to do so or it keeps you safe, then you never believed in those things in the first place. You never genuinely believed in those things. You simply said that because it endeared yourself to other people. It was a way to bring other people into your circle. Look, here's the thing. If you don't believe anything, that's fine. I don't care. I really don't. Just don't lie about it. Just come out and say, I'm a soulless husk of flesh pretending to be a human being who will do literally anything for money because I don't believe in anything and nothing is more important to me than the Benjis in the bank account. I'll hate you still, but at least you're honest. At least you're honest. And as far as the backpedaling thing is concerned, again, you don't believe in anything. You don't believe in it. Again, it's the same thing. That's even worse. Well, it's not worse in some ways, but it is just as bad, I think. If you do something that actually adheres to your beliefs and morals, and then you backpedal after when you start to take some heat for it, again, you never believed in it. When times get difficult, I don't care what it is, or when it's more convenient or beneficial for you to forsake your values, if you do so, then you never had them to begin with. And again, just be honest with everybody. Just, if you're a worthless, soulless husk, piece of shit, just be honest that you're a soulless husk piece of shit. That's all we want. We're not asking for you to, rewrite the Odyssey or something, take us to the moon. Just be honest. Hollywood needs to get over this. This needs to stop fucking happening. And you need to be better at living your values. Living your convictions. Because when you do that, you will find out very, very quickly what people in your circle need to be there. With your friends, family, coworkers, all of that. The moment that you start to truly live the things that you claim to believe in, you watch how quickly the wolves will reveal themselves. Very quickly you will find out who has a knife out for you. It's a good way to be able to find out who your friends are.